Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Micah, and you're gonna be seeing a batch of new TikTok videos that I just filmed right now in the countryside in Clovis, California, so let's go. There's this part of the Bible where Jesus says, the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. And if you feel like you've been serving him faithfully, that might disorient you a little bit, because you're like, well, someone else comes behind me and they're not serving God the way that they should, but they're gonna be first. And I, who have been right there in the front with him, I'm gonna be last? That doesn't make sense. Well, here's what I want you to see. This is what I want you to visualize. If you're in a line and the first becomes last and the last becomes first, it's actually even Steven. We're all equal in the eyes of Christ, and that's good news for you. Your days are numbered. You can't change the number. They're numbered. Everyone's days are numbered. So what do you need to do with those days that you have? You need to live them well. You need to do two things. Pursue a relationship with Jesus and serve other people. That's it. Love God and love others. And guess what? Your love for God is authenticated by your love for others. You can't serve God and hate people. So love God by loving others. That is a worthy calling and pursuit for your life. I know a lot of people who are really scared of burnout. They're scared that if they go hard when they're young, they won't have anything left when they're old. I want to tell you, for thousands of years, people have gone hard. People have worked hard, and they didn't burn out. To provide for their family, to survive, to do the right thing, they did what was necessary. There's a famous quote. It's actually attributed to several different people, but it's this: I'd much rather wear out than rust out. If you're young and you're like, I'm afraid I'm going to burn out, and you're working 10 or 20 or 25 hours a week and going to school at the same time, I'm telling you, you're not going to wear out from that. You might be tired because of your other choices, like staying up late at night, but you're not going to wear out from that. In fact, you have the ability to take a Sabbath rest, a day of rest, which God has told you you should for your own good and to bring him glory. I'd rather you wear out than rust out, but you're not going to wear out from the work. You're going to wear out from bad decisions. So make good decisions and work hard. Do you have peace with your past? There's probably something in your past that you're ashamed of, or that's something you wish you hadn't done, something you regret in some way. But in order to make peace with your past, you have to own your piece of your past. You can't just blame others for all those bad things. You've got to own your part. Spent a summer overseas, and every weekend me and my college friends would go from the city we were living in, Heidelberg, Germany, and we would travel across Europe. Our first weekend that we were doing long distance travel from Germany was to the Czech Republic. We were going to Prague. Whenever you're out of the country, you need to have your passport with you. And we all had our passports, except one of us forgot our passport, my good friend TJ. And we were almost to the border of the Czech Republic. And these armed guards came through the train, and they were looking to stamp our passports. He was getting scared because we didn't know what would happen if he didn't have identification on him. As a group, we prayed for him and we said, God, help us. And you know what happened? The guard came through our cabin and he checked every single person's passport except TJ's. It was as if he couldn't even see him. It was like he had disappeared, and TJ was fine. I just tell you this story because I want to encourage you. When you need help and you are desperate, you need to cry out to God. Ask for help. I'm telling you, he comes through for people every single day. This is Shrek the sheep. Shrek the sheep went and hid in a cave for several years and grew his fleece to be 600 pounds, 6 times the normal that a sheep should have on its back. And it was in pain, and it was hurting, and it was alone. You know why? Because he ran away from the herd, and he ran away from his shepherd. Come on, go back to the good shepherd. Jesus is the good shepherd, and he will help you. If you don't want to run away and hide from him, you're gonna grow burdened. He wants to take those burdens from you, just like that sheep. If you're on this platform and you want to pursue Jesus and you're not sure how to do that yet, I recommend you try out a local church. But if you're not ready for that step, I recommend you watch Tik Tok Church on Alex Dion Wilson's page. He'd love to help you discover Jesus for yourself. And when the time is right, when you're ready, you'll join a local church. I'll tell you what I told someone recently who was expressing to me that God was chasing after them. They said, God is working. It seems like he's everywhere, but I'm not ready to come to your church. I simply told her, you can run as long as you want, but he's chasing you and he loves you. That's true for you too. Here is something really simple I want to encourage you with. Some people say fake it till you make it. I say keep at it till you make it. Faking it has the intention of fooling others. keeping at it has the intention of creating a habit. So here's what I'm saying. Listen, if you're in a position where what you feel is not what you're doing, what you feel like doing is not what you're doing, it's not all about what you feel. Feelings can lie. You want to lead your emotions with your actions, because emotions follow action. Emotion follows action. Therefore, you want to lead with your actions. You don't want to fake it till you make it. You want to lead yourself with actions. Intentionality until you make it. Intentionality until it's a good habit. But don't fake it till you make it. TikTok, you know this is true. What you feed your body is going to affect your body's health. But what you also know is true, what you feed your mind is what's going to affect your mind's health. So I want to challenge you, because there's a lot of junk food on TikTok. There's a lot of things that are bad for you going through your feed. The more you consume those horrible things for you, the more the algorithm is going to spit them out at you. I want to encourage you to clean your feed. Just like you might clean your food when you want to be healthy, when you want to get healthy, I want you to clean your feed. Here's how you do that. You just swipe up. If there's something not good for you, you swipe up. If there's something that you know something rises up in you that's sinful, when you see it, swipe up. And the more you swipe up, the more the algorithm will recognize what you want to watch and what you don't want to watch. It's going to clean your feed. And before you know it, you're going to have a healthy feed. So clean your feed today. Do you ever just know that you're right and other people fail to see it? Here's the thing, when you know that you're right, when you know that you know that you know that you're right and someone else is wrong, here's what I want to challenge you with. You can either make a point and prove your rightness, or you can make a difference and love them. Which one do you want to do? Because here's what Jesus did. He loved us through our wrongness. And he didn't just come to show us he's right. He came to show us grace. So you can make a point, you can make a difference. You decide, but it's going to impact your impact. Grace, it's not fair. What do you mean it's not fair? Isn't God fair? Well, you see, if grace were fair, then justice would be served by punishing those who deserve to be punished. Let me tell you, I deserve to be punished, but God has taken that punishment for me. Never thought about it that way. Grace is not fair, and I, for one, am thankful for it. If grace were fair, I would have to pay for my own sins in order to get grace. But Jesus has paid for my sins, so I don't have to. That's why grace isn't fair. Jesus paid for all. Accept his grace today. Trust me, you don't want fair. So I want to get fit physically, but the goal seems so far away. But every day, if I take steps towards it, I get closer to my goal. Every day, by consistent behavior and follow through, I get a little bit closer to the fitness level that I want to have. You got to implement little steps to make your goals happen. And by taking these little steps, you get closer to your goal. It's hard to take these little steps, and sometimes you got to skip a day. But don't skip 2, because if you skip 2, it's less likely that you'll get back on track.